Alright guys, so this is Salesforce assignment number 4. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so for this assignment, what we're going to be doing is producing a page which displays accounts and related contacts using only one SQL query. So this is an example of what the application is supposed to look like. At the top you see that we have a message here that's basically saying that this page was created using only one query. This means that this page that you see here or below this message was used was created by using one SQL query, pretty much. So as you can see, we have different accounts such as Burlington Textiles Corp of America, Dickinson PLC, Edge Communications, and inside each one, well, below each one of these accounts, we have contacts associated with these accounts. So as you can see, some accounts they have one contact, some of them have multiple contacts. And what we basically just need to do is display all of the accounts as well as the associated contacts for those particular accounts. That's pretty much it. So without further ado, let's jump right into the code. Alright guys, so this is the coding portion of the video for Salesforce assignment number 4. And as I said, we're basically just going to produce a page which displays accounts and related contacts using only one query. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is to go to our Apex class, and inside of our Apex class, what we want to do is create a list that holds all of the accounts. List holding all accounts. You just want to go public list count accounts. This is basically just going to be the list that holds each one of our accounts. You then want to create ourselves a constructor. Public sales. We can just do this. Since this is a constructor, the same name as the class. Accounts equals new list account. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is create a method that is going to retrieve all the accounts based on a given SQL query. So like I said in the presentation, we only want to do this using one SQL query. So first of all, let me just add the comment to make sure we all are on the same page. Public list get accounts. All right. Now, what we need to do now is add this. We're going to say apex pages dot add message new apex pages dot message apex pages dot severity info this page. And if we go back to the presentation, This page was created using only one SQL query. This page was created using only one SQL query. And this is pretty straightforward. This is basically just going to be the message that you see here. This page was created using only one SQL query. That's what we're coding for. Right here. Next thing that we want to do is so next thing that we want to do is to retrieve all the accounts based on one SQL query. So we just want to go accounts equals, and then we're going to have our select statement. And at the end, we just want to go over return accounts. So let's start writing this query now. Select account name actually have this opened up on my end, and this is what the entire code should be. I'm going to walk you guys through it. All right. So we want to select multiple things when we're executing this SQL query. Select the account name as well as all of this. So we want to select the account name. We want to select the contact.account name. We want to also select the contact name, contact first name, contact last name, phone number, email from contacts. And for this account name, we want to use this account where account ID is in this SQL query here. Select contact ID from contact, and I want to order it by the account name. So if you really read through this SQL query, you'll see that we'll actually be populating all this information here. Because the first thing that we have is the accounts. We're going to be grabbing the account name, and we're also going to be grabbing the contacts within that particular account. So for example, this Burlington Textiles Corp of America is going to consist of a contact whose name is Jack. His last name is Rogers. He has a phone number as well as an email. Now, as you notice, some of the accounts have multiple contacts. So we want to grab all those as well, which are ultimately going to be added to this list right here, this accounts list that we have. So basically, we're just selecting the account name. We're also selecting all of this from the account where the account ID is the same as the account ID in the contacts. And then we just basically gonna order it by the account name. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys. If you just go through this query, I think you'll be able to understand it, because it's pretty straightforward. You just would have to go through and understand exactly what is going on in this SQL query. If you break it down, I'm sure you'll understand exactly what's going on here. But as I always say, if you need any help or have any questions, just don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section below. All right, and pretty much as far as the Apex class, this is all we really need. This is all we really need for this particular application. So next, we're going to be moving on to the Visual Force page now. All right, guys, so this is the Visual Force page that we're going to be working with. As you can see, I've already created a title for it, Salesforce Assignment for Visual Force page. Also, as you can see, I already have my elements of Apex page as well as a title for it. And I have this controller, which is always going to be the Apex class that we use in conjunction with this Visual Force page. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is add ourselves a section header, which is going to go Apex section header title, and we're going to set this equal to Salesforce Assignment 4. The next thing that we're going to do is add ourselves a page block. And we're basically just going to have a title for this page block. We're basically just going to have a title. Title of this page block is going to be accounts with contacts. Then we're just going to have an Apex page message here. And nothing's going to go in there because this is going to be automatically populated from what we have in our Apex class. All right, so the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and iterate. Through everything returned from the SQL query. We want to iterate through that list. And this is how we're going to go about doing it. Apex repeat, and then we're going to have some attributes inside of this repeat. Value equals counts equals ACC. Now we want to go into this repeat element and then add an Apex page block, because we're going to have page blocks for each one of the accounts, which are going to consist of their associated contacts. Go to repeat, and now we're just going to go Apex page block. And inside this page block, I actually want to give this a title. Actually, this title is going to be set equal to this. All right, so it's going to be set equal to the account name, based on the query from our Apex class that we have here. We're going to grab the current account name. I also need me a page block table. And inside, well, page block table, this is actually going to consist of some attributes. Basically for contacts, value equals this, ACC, contacts. Then inside this page block table, we're just going to have our columns. Apex column value. We're going to set this equal to this. Exclamation point, CON, contact name. And we're going to do this a couple of times. Five more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the account name. That's going to be the first column. And I just want to go back to my presentation really quick and show you guys. So this is the contact, first name, last name, phone number, and email. These are the columns that we need under each one of these account blocks, as you can see here. So we have the name, we have the account name, and then next thing that we want is the actual contact's name. After that, we want the first name. Let me just make sure, go back to this Apex class. Yep, name, first name, last name. All right. Next, we want the last name. We also want the phone number, as well as the email. That should be the end of the table, page block table. All right, I think this is pretty much it. Okay, so let's kind of understand what's going on. We want to iterate through a list of all the return, of everything returned from the SQL query that we have in our Apex class here. So we're going to iterate through this. We're going to have an element called repeat, which is going to go through each one of the accounts. So we're going to continuously do this until we make our way throughout the entire list that was created from that SQL query that we created in our Apex class. We're also going to have this page block right here, which is going to be set equal to the account name. If you go back to the presentation, this is the account name that we have here. We have Burlington Textiles. This is another one for an account name, Dickinson PLC. Next one is Edge Communications, and what's going to happen is that we're going to continuously iterate over that until we make our way through that entire list. Here, this page block table that we have is going to have a value of contacts. We go back here. Okay, so these are, so this is going to consist of the contact information. We have first name, last name, phone number, email. Last name, phone number, email. I don't think we need this. I think I added this because I was just trying to figure out what the actual full contact name is. And also, yeah, we probably don't need this. You can remove this if you want. I'm going to remove this for now, because what we're trying to do, we want it to look similar to this. We're basically just going to have the first name, the last name, phone number, as well as email. Let's remove this for now, or we can just simply comment it out. Leave. I can just remove it. Let's just remove it for right now. All right. Now from here, what we want to do is just save. See what happens. Okay. Page message. This is line 6. Apex page message. So we have an attribute that we need in this page message. So let's see. Just go back here and see if I'm missing anything. I don't believe so. Oh, maybe I didn't save it. Okay. I had to basically save this Apex class first, then make my way here and then save, I believe. All right, guys. So in order to correct that issue, what you need to do is actually add messages. It's not just simply message. So Apex : messages with an S at the end. And then when you save, preview it, you should get this. This page was created using only one query. So as you can see, we have all of the accounts as well as the context associated with each one of these accounts. And this is pretty much how you go about creating this application. That's pretty much it. All right, guys, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video if you've learned something here. And also, don't forget to subscribe. And see you in the next one.